Prepare yourselves!
MultiVersus is a digital atrocity. MultiVersus is the definition of wasted potential. When MultiVersus was announced in November of 2021, one of my friends told me that Warner Brothers was making a platform fighting game with characters from DC and Cartoon Network. At the time, he convinced me that it was going to be good, and something made me believe him. After a while, I started to lose hope, because at the time, most games were just lackluster, aside from a select few. For too long, there's been a huge problem with massive corporations making products that are mediocre at best, and walking away with little to no backlash or criticism because their reputation is so big and they're so well known that the standard has become, I will release dog shit products and you will buy them. Nowadays, game companies can release failure after failure and people will buy it up, no questions asked. But of course, MultiVersus, being a free-to-play game, couldn't get into your wallet that easily. Luckily for them, they had a trick up their sleeve. On July 19th, 2022, the MultiVersus beta was released, and I say beta very generously, because what they released that day was the entire game. When MultiVersus was released in 2022, it had problems, to say the very least. The game was, and still is, floaty, the hitboxes are buggy, and the game looks terrible. For some reason, each character had perks that you'd have to unlock with currency you earned by playing the game. We'll talk more about currencies in a bit. Every player gets to choose one unique perk specific to the character that they're playing, and 3 basic perks that every character has access to. Personally, I didn't believe this was a good idea if the game was supposed to be played competitively, but I didn't really care because this game cannot be played competitively. Overall, MultiVersus is extremely low effort. Everything in the game just feels bad, and you can tell just by looking at it that there was absolutely zero love put into the game. It's impossible to tell if the map is too big or too small. All of the hitboxes are disjointed and massive, and the parrying system in the game is actual luck, because the hurtboxes of the characters are all over the place. They become active before the attacking animations play, so you get punished for dodging late. Even if you dodge late, you run the risk of getting hit out of your dodge. It's impossible to tell if you will fully avoid the attack because it doesn't have to touch you to hit you. The developers of the game couldn't find a good way to balance the characters, so they gave specific characters cooldowns on their attacks. Under no circumstances in any fighting game should some characters have a fully unlocked moveset, while others have to wait 15 seconds to do a special attack. Tell me why Tom can abuse Jerry for as long as he lives, and is only on cooldown after Jerry dies. Meanwhile, LeBron's only way of defending himself is on cooldown for 40 seconds unless you hit somebody while unarmed. LeBron James literally gets all of his attacks taken away, and his end lag quadrupled without his ball. It somehow feels safer to get parried than to miss an unarmed attack with LeBron. Every character in the game feels bland. The game looks super depressing, and with every character feeling extremely basic like a reskin with only some characters standing apart from the rest. Most characters have a dash attack that for some reason can be manipulated to travel up and down. Most attacks are super out of place and almost every character has some extreme balancing issues. Some characters are way too powerful, and the hitboxes always being in the wrong place makes some matchups almost unplayable. Basically, what I'm saying is, we didn't deserve this game. This isn't the game we wanted or the game we needed. Warner Brothers is one of the only companies of its size, with the rights from pretty much half of all mainstream fiction and the money that we could never fathom. There is literally no reason why this game should ever have existed in our lifetime. But when will fan bases hold creators accountable? Under no circumstances is this game ready to be monetized. I genuinely cannot believe people have spent money on this game for what? Everything looks terrible. I talk to MultiVersus glazers all the time, and they act like the characters existing in the game makes the game good. No matter how many problems there actually are, they think being able to play as characters that they know and love makes the experience worthwhile. If MultiVersus was an indie game made by a single person with all original characters and the same problems, it would have 0 players. I have no idea why MultiVersus players defend this game with their life. The game is not that good. How are there games that were made for the GameCube that look, play, and feel better than this? This is literally unacceptable. MultiVersus is actually it's the worst game I've ever played. It's actually the worst game I've ever played, bro. Consumers are being enslaved by nostalgia. All MultiVersus has to offer are nostalgic characters from cartoons we enjoyed as kids. Activision does this exact same thing. They pump out dog shit games knowing that they will still make a profit because they know people out there will buy their games, hoping to recapture the same feeling they felt when they were younger. When Samurai Jack was released a couple of days ago, he was behind a paywall. It's already impossible to get fighter currency. People would have just bought him anyway. And can we talk about how for some reason this game has not one, not two, not even three, but 4 different currencies. A platform fighter. In most extreme cases, I understand having a currency to unlock characters and maybe a currency for skins. But different currencies for literally everything in the game. There is a perk currency, which I guess, if you are insane, might make a little bit of sense. But a prestige currency that you need countless hours on the game to obtain, literally everything you can think of there's a currency for. This is editing, Sandy. And there's actually a 5th currency called circuits that I didn't know that this was a thing. Circuits are used to buy characters in Season 2 that you can't buy with fighter currency. I don't know why you can't buy them with fighter currency. You have to either use Gleamium or circuits, which doesn't really make any sense. And that takes us to the 6th currency. The currency that we all know and love. The currency that is the reason the game exists. Real life money. This entire game is a cash grab, and it actually surprises me how effective it was. They literally did the absolute bare minimum and still got into people's wallets. The only reason they added circuits was just to add something that you'd have to pay for if you didn't want to grind. And if anyone here has grinded the rifts, you know that you'd rather spend fucking money than do that shit, bro. Everything in this game is designed in a way that makes you have to buy shit. The grinding in this game is so tedious and unbearable that you literally have to be unemployed and 500 pounds to have everything legitimately. It's literally impossible to buy all of the characters through grinding the rifts because there's not enough that give you enough money to actually get the characters. And this game is just so bad. Why does nothing make sense? Why couldn't they come up with anything for Rick? Of all the gadgets Rick Sanchez has used in the last 8 years of Rick and Morty has been in existence, why would you give him a red-tipped rocket? Why is his up air a mega seed? You know, the thing Morty had to shove up his ass in the pilot to power the portal gun. He doesn't even do anything with it. He holds it up above his head like he discovered it. Why is Steven Universe here? Why is the kid who refuses to fight anyone in the fighting game? And why is his entire moveset so horrible? It's been a very long time since I've seen anything Steven Universe related, but I know there's absolutely no fucking way he is still using that stupid watermelon shit. They made Shaggy the strongest character in the game because of a meme that died 4 years ago. His entire character is a failure, and his perks made him even worse. If Shaggy has the perk, One Last Zoinks equipped, he automatically gains Super Saiyan ability after reaching 100 damage. When Shaggy is Super Saiyan, he has super armor on all of his attacks. That will one-hit you if you're above 100 damage. You literally get punished for dealing damage. Shaggy has so much range, no end lag, and 0 cooldowns. He can throw a sandwich every 2 seconds that has more knockback and does more damage than LeBron's ball. And you don't even have to recover the sandwich to throw it again! You can just rip another one out of the floor. And why is the Iron Giant so massive? Why doesn't he have any priority at that size? Where is his super armor? Why are his attacks so uncreative? Why would they make arguably the coolest character in the game the lamest? Why is his dropkick active on frame 1? I didn't even think it was possible to make the Iron Giant lame. How do you make a gigantic robot lame? You do what MultiVersus did. You take his arms off, you take his legs off, and you take his dick off. Jake the dog has to be the developer's least favorite character. All of his moves are terrible. And he looks disgusting. Like, out of all the things Jake the dog is capable of, they said, yeah, let's make him do a split. Turn him into a house, a car, a boat. Why is Banana Guard here? They couldn't have added anyone else, you know, like Meow, Flame Princess, Ice King, The Lich, Billy, Marceline, Susan King, Lemon Grab, the Ancient Psychic Tandem War Elephant, the fucking Odd Gods! Velma shouldn't be here. Bugs Bunny is insane. The Goblin is broken. The game is just so bad. But if I'm being honest, it's just sad to see a game with so much potential just waste away. MultiVersus could have been a masterpiece, but it's just gotten to the point where the game can't be saved. It needed people who actually cared about it and understood the characters and the series that they're from. It looks like it's way past too late to fix the game. They would have to build a brand new game from the ground up with people who actually know what they're doing and with people who care about their characters as much as we do. At the end of the day, companies will keep shitting out terrible games and consumers will continue to pick up and eat from the pile that's been building up in front of them ever since big corporations realized what they make doesn't have to be good for you to buy it. It just has to be theirs.